Hello, my narcissistic abuse family. It has been a minute. I missed you guys. I think about you all the time, even though I haven't made videos. I'm just living my best life, hanging out with my family. I was on an extended spring break, we'll say. This is going to be kind of just an amalgam of different topics. First, I have to talk about the latest activity with the narcs. Second, I want to talk about our bumped, bruised, and blessed family victory you might have seen. So, also, you guys, I've been working on my book. That's super exciting. I'm very excited about it. We're on the publishing end of it right now, so I just have to, we're getting there. It's not going to be out until probably the end of this year, but rest assured, I'll keep you all in the know. So I have printed out here. Okay, so basically January, February, March are kind of quiet in terms of special occasions and holidays, but come April, for the whole rest of the year, there's something every month. So, no doubt the narc is just reeling right now with all of the supplies she's missing out on. April 19th was our little girl's birthday. She turned 9 this year, which was super awesome. And the narcs, of course, took that opportunity. Like, I can't say this enough. I'm dropping things. I can't say this enough. Narcs will always take they're opportunistic predators. So they'll take any special occasion, a holiday, anything to try to reinsert themselves into your life if you've drawn boundaries or gone no contact, which is pretty awesome. They'll just use any excuse to try to weasel their way back in to, forward their own agenda. And as with all things narc related, it just goes back to what they want and, feeding their ego and forwarding their agenda. So, April 19th was our little girl's birthday, and we had a wonderful day together. It was super cool. And of course, I didn't get anything in the mail, so I was like, oh, this will be great. Like, I know they're just looming. They're lurking. They're planning on stopping by our house. Because unfortunately, we only live 10 minutes away from them. So I was like, oh, we were prepared for it. Thankfully, we have cameras all over our house, and we have our trusty guard dog here, Gino, so he alerts us always of unwanted visitors, wanted and unwanted actually, but so we went the whole day. It was awesome, and it wasn't until 7 o'clock at night, I think it was, that of course the toxic duo has to drop by and leave a gift for our daughter on our front step. As we know, all things affiliated with the narcissist have tons of strings attached. Every gift is obligatory. They're always trying to get their way to reinsert themselves back into your lives, no matter, what you've made crystal clear over and over again. They don't care. They just they want things to be the way they want things to be, regardless of your feelings or, they have no respect for you whatsoever, particularly, when they're your parents. We are viewed as objects, as their children. They see it through the eyes of they own us, essentially. It's disgusting. They have no appreciation for us, they have no respect for us, etc. So toxic duo couldn't let the day go by without, trying to Like, oh, we're still here. We're still here. I don't know if you guys have ever. I'll get back to that. I'll get back to what I was just gonna say about Anthony Jeselnik. He's a comedian. He's pretty funny, but I'll get back to that when I get to the anniversary of Joey's passing. But anyway, so she had to follow up their visit with an email the next day, I believe. So I have them blocked on everything, like phone, email. Like, I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want to hear anything. So my husband has them blocked as well, but I don't think he has their email blocked. For some reason, he still gets text messages from them. He has their numbers blocked in his phone as well, but I don't know. But he's a great buffer because I still get to, I'm still in the know. I know what's happening, but I don't get the direct fire, I guess. Anyway, so the narc sent this email to my husband and I. Hello, Michelle and Joe. As you know, Dad and I stopped by yesterday to bring Josie her birthday gifts. We're so disappointed we haven't seen each other in almost 4 years! ! August 12th, to be exact. I just wanted to make sure Josie received her presents, ? Here comes the obligation part, right? Please, I am begging you to see each other and to talk to one another. Let us be a family again. We can never, in all caps, get these years back spent apart from one another. We can never get these years spent apart from one another. We miss you all so very much, ... We will always love you, ! Mom. Wow. Just ridden with, her typical, guilt trip attempt. And have you ever heard that phrase, when you give someone a legitimate gift, you give it to them. You don't expect anything in return. Never the case when it comes to narcissists. That's their first intention is to, get something back for what they've given you. It's always with obligation. So this gift needless to say, Joe and I did not respond. We've made it very, very crystal clear that we want nothing to do with them, but they keep, just disrespecting us and disregarding our wishes. So that's not our problem, and I always say this to people too. It's we have good manners and good hearts and decency within us. So it's they're preying upon that. It's they know that it's going against everything you have to not acknowledge or thank them for what they gave. And that's another thing I wanted to say. We give our kids the gifts. They're our kids and, they deserve everything in the world. They got stuck with these rotten, miserable, evil grandparents, so they might as well get gifts, right? So at least they get that. So we pass the gifts along to our kids. They know where they came from. But, Joe and I don't get into the specifics with them. Our kids know that grandma and grandpa, they don't respect us and we don't like them. And that's it. That's as far as it needs to go. As they get older, they'll see it for what it is. I am a big proponent of, I do believe that the truth speaks for itself at some point or another, even if it takes longer to come out. But anyway, so we didn't respond to her email. So she sends a text message. And she's getting angrier. She's getting hastier. They can only keep up the nice front for so long until they morph into their narcissistic rage. So here's what the email says. Good morning, Joe. Again, she's targeting my husband now because I have nothing to do with it. And they're always trying to triangulate, don't forget. Good morning, Joe. Once again, I'm trying to reach out to you! Why is it so difficult for either one of you to answer us? I've emailed you, begging you to speak to one another. If not for anyone, why are you not thinking of your daughters! The years that we've been apart can never be returned. Why are you allowing this to happen, Mom? So, you guys are awesome. You did weigh in on this when I posted it. Yeah, she's totally trying. Like, this didn't even dawn on me. It was, thankfully, one of you awesome members of the community, the narc abuse family, that said, she's totally trying to triangulate Joe and I. Like, obviously, she's trying to appeal to my husband is an amazing father. He's an amazing dad. And she's trying to, I guess, appeal to that, to the pride that he has in his character. He's a good man. So now she's spinning it like, how could you let this happen? Like, blaming him. And at the same time, clearly I am the villain. I am doing this. So I am turning my husband against them. It couldn't possibly be his own, free will choice that he wants nothing to do with these people. Everything has to trace back to me, in their eyes, the root of all problems. So that's what that is. Like, just insane. It's making them insane, actually, which is poetic justice, I'll say, because, narcs live for reactions, good or bad. They don't care. They just need to be acknowledged. They are so weak and inadequate that they kind of, like, they will substantiate their existence based off of how they make other people react, because they don't have any formidable, substantial relationships. So in order to fill that void, they need to feel like they can impact people in a positive or mostly negative, but they just want to wreak havoc in this world because they're so miserable. So us not acknowledging them or giving them that supply, it's absolutely driving her insane. And it's not in our nature to be like vindictive or any of that stuff. Like, that's all them, that's been them their whole lives. That's not in our nature, but it's awesome we just want peace, and we're happy, and we don't want anything to do with them. So I guess it's kind of like a residual bonus that they're so miserable. I say they reap what they sow. It's like when we did have them as a part of our life and we wanted them to be a part of our children's lives, they couldn't be bothered, and every time, like, we needed a babysitter or something, it was like a big ordeal, and we were indebted to them forever. We could never thank them enough, or like, you know what? You don't deserve to be a part of our kids' lives or our life. And so, like I said, it's kind of just like poetic justice. Like, you got what you wanted, so leave us the flip alone. But those are like her latest hate messages to Joe, really to Joe, because I have nothing to do with it anymore. And, they see me as a lost cause. I'm all dried up, so why not go to the next best thing, my husband? So that was that. And then on April 23rd, it's the anniversary of our son passing. You see him back there, Joey. It's a crazy story. I couldn't make it up if I tried, but yes, our youngest daughter, Jo, so much. I have to make a separate video on this at some point. But Joe and I thought we were done having kids when we had Madeline, our older daughter. And after Maddie was born, July of 2011, that's when Joey started getting sick. And it was 4 months later, he was diagnosed with the brain cancer. And I kid you not, like, Joe and I were, like, irrational, I guess you could say. We live large, and we just have faith, and we left it up to God, and we were like, if we get pregnant again, I guess it's meant to be. So instantaneously, we got pregnant, and Josie was due on Joey's birthday on May 20th. I couldn't make it up if I tried. So, and then I went into labor with Josie on the night before. So it was like April 18th. It was almost exactly a month before her due date, Joey's birthday. And, Joey was diagnosed with brain cancer, so obviously the outlook was not promising. Obviously, brain cancer is the worst of the worst. So, but I'll tell you this, we were so in it. Joe and I were so committed to doing whatever we could to help our son, and we had all the faith in the world. We said, you know what, miracles happen every day, and we had so many people praying for Joey, and what I'm saying is that it totally caught us off guard when I was in the hospital with Josie, and Joe was home with the narc, the toxic duo, actually stayed with Joey and Maddie the night I went into labor. And we called them, and the narc had to shower before she came over. I was like gushing blood. Not to be graphic, but it was bad. And we had to go to the hospital, but the narc showered, and then they came over and stayed with Joey and Maddie that night. Joe stayed in the hospital with me, and they did the emergency C-section the next day. So that was April 19th. I had Josie, and Joe stayed home with Joey that night and Madeline. And Joe said, Joey stopped speaking. He stopped going to the bathroom. He stopped eating. He stopped everything. Don't get me wrong. The whole agonizing process was a nightmare as we were undergoing this treatment with him for 18 months. But it wasn't that bad. It got really bad really fast. So Joe came in to see me at the hospital the next day, and he was like, I don't know what's wrong with Joe. Joe gets frustrated, and his response is anger, right? The bodyguard for sadness is anger. So Joe is angry. He was like, Joe, he's not talking. I was like, Joe, you have to take him down to the ER. Here I am in the maternity ward. I'm like, you have to take Joey to the ER, which we had done so many times before. Joe's like, they're not going to help him. They can never help him. And, sure enough, they said, we can't. They called his oncologist in New York City, and she was like, there's nothing we can do. It's beyond anything we can help at this point. So basically, we went home with Joey on hospice. The nurses at the hospital were incredible. They were so kind. They let Joe and Joey stay with me in the hospital room in the maternity ward that night. And I had to get released, because I literally just had a C-section. So the doctor let me go the next day, knowing the circumstances. Josie was in the NICU because she was so early. She was a month early. So she was in the NICU. The toxic duo took Maddie. And Joey and I went home on hospice. And we were home for 2 days. And Joey passed. So that's the background. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that out, I guess. But anyway, so Josie's birthday, April 19th, and Joey passed April 23rd. So it's a lot within a short amount of time. So the toxic duo, I can't tell you how many times I told her that it disgusts me that her daughter-in-law, the golden boy's wife, loves to exploit Joey's passing all over social media, Facebook, and all that. It just disgusts me. And I told the narc, it would mean a lot to me if you could just kind of shut that down, maybe say to not exploit our son's passing. How about that? And she never did that, of course. So all they do is exploit our son. It's something that's so sacred and personal, and it's not something that I look to garnish attention from. That's our beautiful son, and we're blessed to be his mom and dad, and we're so blessed with our family. I don't know. So it's a lot of supply in a short amount of time. So the narc is reeling over there. So that's why she sent those nasty messages. She must just be losing her mind. Last thing. Our victory as a bumped, bruised, and blessed family. I hope you guys saw the one of our family members was really struggling. Like, she must be in the beginning of her, boundary setting or whatever she's going to do with her narc mother. Her daughter has a daughter. So this is our family member's mother is the narc. So this is her granddaughter. So her daughter decided to have the first birthday party for her daughter at the narc's house. And you know how narcs, like, we did this a couple times, which disgusts me in hindsight, but you don't know at the time. You don't expect that these people are as evil as they truly are. So the daughter had her daughter's first birthday at the narc's house. So our beautiful, bumped, bruised, and blessed family member was like, it was making her so anxious and so sick all week just thinking about attending this party. Like, obviously she was really like torn up about it because she loves her daughter and her granddaughter, but being around the narc makes her sick. And 1000% I relate to that physically, mentally, emotionally. So I did a poll, and you got, like, there was 2 people that said she should go, and I'm inclined to think that those people are just early in their journey. They haven't quite worked out, exactly how evil these people are. But end of story, she did not go. And she was so happy and so relieved. It's like, you need that, like, validation and support, like, that we went decades without. I went decades without that. It's like everyone was always guilting me into going to things. And then I was diagnosed with MS, and it was like even worse. It was like the mental, the physical element. I was so torn up about stuff. And I'd be like, I can't go to that. I don't want to go to that. I was still walking, and there would be like stairs at places, or it would just be a lot for me. And the narc would be like, you have to go, Michelle, like trying to. It's like they sit back, they like to watch you suffer. It's disgusting. It's called schadenfreude, right? When someone takes pleasure out of someone else's misfortune. It's gross. So anyway, that was a victory. And I just want to tell you all that made me so happy. Like, I love and I value this community so much. It's legitimately a family. We are bonded together closer than those miserable people we were surrounded by growing up that have no idea, like, and other outside people have no idea what we've been through. But that made me so happy. Like, that made my heart happy. I was thrilled for our narc abuse family member that extricated herself from the toxicity and the misery of it all. So those are my updates. That's the latest going on with, the toxic duo. And that was our narc abuse family victory. I love you all. I have so much to talk about. Like I said, I'm just loving I'm so in love with my family. I'm so grateful for them. And we've had a lot going on. And Joe and I went to a wedding earlier in the month. So lots happening over here. But I love you all. I appreciate you all so much. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Please subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Share with anyone you think this might benefit. And I love you all so much. Please check out my merch. It's on Amazon now, or the link below this video. That's what's up. I love you all so much, and I will be back soon.